What is going on, guys? What an amazing fight. Amazing tactical fight by both Devin Haney and Lomachenko. Let's go ahead and talk about it. Lomachenko versus Devin Haney. Beautiful, beautiful fight. Up until the last moment, up until the last second of that fight, they were constantly playing high-level chess with each other and doing things we've never seen them do. Now, I disagree with most of everything that was being said during the commentary of that fight. Even the unofficial scorecard had Devin Haney up for the first 3 rounds or so, and then Loma coming back in the next 3 rounds. I could not understand how they were seeing that, in my opinion, as my scoring was reversed in that respect. Lomachenko started off hot, which was very, very strange for him. He normally does not start off with that much speed, and that, I believe, flanked Devin Haney early on. Devin Haney early on was also looking a little bit different, had a little bit different of a style or a posture that he normally doesn't have. And I think he was using that to throw off Lomachenko, but he also put high work into the body, constantly hitting Lomachenko in the body, while Lomachenko was doing the most work upstairs. Lomachenko is not a person who goes for the body much. Some of those things are habits from his amateur career, where because there's only 3 rounds and you're trying to score points, a lot of the amateurs don't even focus on throwing to the body at all. So yes, he's a decorated amateur, but in the pros, sometimes that can come back to bite him because he had so many amateur fights. But the back and forth was mesmerizing, unbelievable. Some rounds, it looked like Devin Haney may have taken the better of that round. Then the next round, it would look like Lomachenko had taken the better of that round. The fight was just an ebb and flow of one person figuring out what to do to dominate that round, and then the other person figuring out what he should do to dominate the next round, or one person imposing his strategy better in this round while the next person was imposing their strategy better in the following round. An unbelievable tit for tat that was just mind-blowing to me, and I had to tweet immediately that right after, before they even gave the decision, because I didn't want this moment to be tainted by any type of decision, which, because the fight was so close, I knew we were moving into that direction. I posted that this was an amazing, skillful match that we just saw, an amazing, skillful showcase by both Devin Haney and Lomachenko. This fight, in my opinion, proved to me, finally, because none of the other fights did this fight proved to me that Devin Haney is a pound-for-pound fighter, is one of the top elite fighters, can hang in there with top fighters like a Lomachenko, can be in that spotlight, be in that monumentous moment, and come out victorious and have a certain level of resolve only reserved for those with the utmost experience. He did his thing. He did his thing, and my hat's off to Devin Haney. Now let's talk about the scoring, because this is this is what's become the story of this fight after the aftermath of the results. The way I scored it, and I have the scoring here. I watched it 2 times already. Literally rewatched it right after the fight. As I was watching the fight, I scored it for Lomachenko mentally. Scored it for Lomachenko, giving Lomachenko the early rounds. Once again, I completely disagreed with the rounds that were given by the unofficial scorecards. To me, rounds 1, 2, and 3, at least 2 of those 3 would have gone to Lomachenko, in my opinion. But once again, scoring is incredibly subjective, as we will see with the scoring that came out with these judges. The way I scored it was rounds 1, 2, and 3, I gave it to Lomachenko. Rounds 4, 5, and 6, I gave to Devin Haney. Round 7, I gave to Lomachenko. Round 8 and 9, I gave to Devin Haney. Now, round 10 and 11, to me, were the only super mega clear rounds where it was like, okay, these rounds, they're automatically Lomachenko rounds, right? So 11 being even more automatically his round, because that was the one where it looked like he was just knocking Devin Haney from pillar to post. And then round 12, I gave to Lomachenko, completing a score of 115 to 113, which essentially means 1 round additional given to Lomachenko for him to get the win. So if I would have given any other of these rounds to Devin Haney, it would have been a draw. Now, let's talk about that scoring. 2 judges gave it a 115-113 score, with Dave Moretti giving it a 116-112. So Tim Cheatham, 115-113. David Sutherland, 115-113. Now, Dave Moretti and David Sutherland scored it close to somewhat how I was scoring it, where the first 3 rounds favored Lomachenko, and then the subsequent rounds after that started to favor Lomachenko a bit. But here's the thing. Although I do not agree with Dave Moretti's score of 10-9 for Devin Haney in the 10th round, considering to me that 10 and 11 were the only rounds where I felt super mega confident in who won those rounds, with Lomachenko being the one who's won those rounds in my opinion. All of the rounds after round 3, so round 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 12 could have all been swing rounds. They all could have gone either way. Could have gone to Devin Haney if you cared more about these really powerful, loud, boom body hits. If you care more about those loud, boom body hits, you're going to give it to Devin Haney. If you care more about punches to the head, you're going to give it to Lomachenko. If you care more about snapping the head back, you're going to give it to Lomachenko. If you care more about good counters to the body and good counter uppercuts, you're going to give it to Devin Haney. So it's really more of volume headshots versus big counter body shots, which were few and less than the amount of headshots that were landing, but still were more of a wow punch on each individual punch, while Lomachenko was more like he'll snap your head back, but then he'll also hit you with 3 or 4 more punches, which 2 of those were blocked. So 2 landed, 2 blocked in a combination string that he puts together. Not as impactful as those loud boom shots from Devin Haney. And that was basically the story of the fight. The volume was coming from Lomachenko. The head punches were coming from Lomachenko, while the body shots and the one punch booms were coming from Devin Haney. And even though there were 7 rounds that were swing rounds, to me, it's still a close fight. So one thing that I can't stand is that the word robbery gets used for every single fight. Like, if you wanted someone to win, I get that. If you're watching it and you think someone won, I get that. But you in no way, shape, or form can call this a robbery simply because of the fact that the fight was close. And even if you wanted to say, hey, Dave Moretti, 116, 112, what's that all about? He's not seeing the same fight I'm seeing. If you're saying it's a close fight, why would that be 116, 112? Because there were 7, count them, 7 swing rounds, which means Dave Moretti could have seen almost all of those swing rounds go to Devin Haney. And then any of the other rounds could have gone to, there were so many swing rounds that to me could have literally gone either way. And for the first 3 rounds that I gave to Lomachenko, other than maybe the first round where he started off super fast, the other rounds he did good. But if you were looking at the body shot more, and that was something that you cared about more, then Devin Haney wins the fight. It's all about what the judges have in their perspective. What can they see? They don't have replay. They're not persuaded by a replay that's showing Loma landing punches in the replay when they're going to their corner, or a replay that's just showing Devin Haney landing punches, creating this false perception that, oh, well, if they're showing me replays of this guy landing punches, then this guy won. And if they're showing me replays of that guy, then that guy won. No, you got to just understand that they're there ringside, no commentary, no nothing. They're watching it from their own personal perspective, no rewind, no nothing, just whatever they can see. Any obstructions is going to cause them to not notice if a punch landed or not. But at the end of the day, a close fight can go either way. And 115, 113, 115, 113 showed that just that one additional round that they gave to Devin Haney took it from a draw to a win for Devin Haney by 1 round. And even Dave Moretti took it from a draw to a win for Devin Haney by 2 rounds. So in all honesty, when you put this all together, it looks like most of these judges preferred that body work. Now, I've seen a lot of people say that the body work won him the fight. I think it won him the fight in respect to they were loud, they were booming shots, and they were very apparent. As opposed to Lomachenko had a lot of good combinations to the head, but they weren't all super clean. You know, if he threw 5, maybe 2 or 3 landed and not all 5, and they were quick, right? They felt more closer to pitter-patter punches than those booming body shots. But I do not think that it won him the fight in the sense that it made Lomachenko get tired, because if anything, he ramped it up in the 10th and 11th, definitely in the 11th, which I think was the clearest round of every single round. 10 and 11 being the clearest, but 11 being the most clearest of those two, as that was the round where he was really putting the beats on Devin Haney. But that 12th round, Devin Haney did not cave. He stayed composed and he fought that round hard. And that round, in my opinion, could have gone either way. And the way the judges saw it was that they were looking towards those, body shot work that he was doing, and that pleased the judges. So at the end of the day, I do not believe this is a robbery. And I tweeted this, and the tweet kind of went, it was spread a lot, right? People were creating conversations off of this, like, no, this is a robbery, this is a robbery. But the truth is, even 116, 113 technically isn't a robbery if you have so many swing rounds that could go either way. There's so many swing rounds that could go either way. And one judge could be like, the entire work that Devin Haney was doing was what they liked to see, while the entire work of what Loma was doing was what they didn't care for. And mainly the whole fight was the same story in the sense that Loma was the volume head puncher, while Devin Haney was the counter body big puncher. Like, so if that's what they wanted to see throughout the fight, then a majority of those rounds are gonna go to Devin Haney, because that was basically what we saw. There was never a flip where Devin Haney started attacking the head while Lomachenko started attacking the body. So basically, they stayed within themselves throughout the entire fight and fought that fight throughout the entire fight, interjecting adjustments to be effective doing what they wanted to do, but that's what they chose to do throughout that fight. So they were consistent in that respect. And so basically, if that's what the judges were looking for, then it makes sense. Just because I scored it for Loma and I think Loma won, in no way, shape, or form makes this a robbery. In my opinion, the word robbery is getting completely decimated in boxing and is used as a get out of jail free card for so many people that simply want to use that to continuously protect the fighter that they love because they're so enamored by their fighter, or they completely hate the other fighter. How many robberies were claimed by, all these fights where Floyd Mayweather lost a few more rounds than he normally does? All of those fights were considered a robbery. This, in my opinion, was in no way a robbery because it was a close fight, and a close fight can go either way. Trust me, I have no agenda to try to pretend that this was a close fight, because my prediction was for Lomachenko to win, and I value all of my predictions. I could have easily gone the route of saying, well, hey, listen, it was a robbery, right? So my prediction is right. No, it wasn't a robbery. Did I score it for Loma? Yes. Could Haney have won that? Yes. Could it have been a draw? Yes. That's the type of fight that we saw. It just shows how high level both guys were. But at the end of the day, Devin Haney got the nod, and I'm not mad at it because it makes sense from the way that we saw this fight. Anyone could have won the fight. Until next time, guys, we're going to be live tomorrow, Monday, 7 p.m. Eastern time. Don't miss it because I want to have a conversation with you guys when it comes to this incredible fight. And how did you guys see the scoring and how everything went down? And Dave Moretti's score of 116-112 and his score of Devin Haney winning that 10th round that looked very decisive for Lomachenko. Until the next one, guys, or until tomorrow when we meet. Peace out, guys.